Hey guys, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. I got one last sneak peek for you this week. Catalog goes live on, let's see here, the 3rd of May, and we are getting a sneak peek at the Sweet Songbirds. You'll be able to order the Sweet Songbirds stamp set and the coordinating punch starting Tuesday. When you bundle the two products together, you can save 10%, and we are going to make this sweet Songbird card. We're going to start with a card base, standard card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4, and we are going to emboss it with the Merry Melody folder. I thought, how perfect is the Merry Melody with our songbirds? So we've got our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. Let's set it up for a 3D folder. We're going to start with number 1 and pop our card front into the folder. I like to use the line on the Stampin' Up folder to make sure that my design runs straight, no uphill or downhill music. And we're going to run through the whole card front, so you can put the back of the card through the machine first. Then you want to square this up so that the hinge does not extend past the platform. Number 4 goes on top, and we'll give that a crank. Proceed with caution so you don't ruin your folder. Make sure that that hinge stays in between the two plates. And now we've got gorgeous music print on our card front. Let's get this guy out of the way. Gonna bring in some designer series paper. This is from the Tea Boutique. And I cut 3 different designs, and they're actually according to Wonder Recipe number 15. So if you took 3 pieces of designer series paper, 6 by 6, and cut it according to the printable Wonder Recipe, you would be able to make 8 cards from those 3 pieces of paper. Each one just like this. It's equivalent of 3 by 1.5 for each piece. And I thought we'd shake up the patterns just a little bit on the Sweet Sorbet. I decided to go with the floral print this time. You can tell me which one you like better in the comments. Let's go ahead and glue those guys onto the card base. I can set that aside and let it dry for just a second. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. Sweet Songbirds is a photopolymer stamp set. It's 24 pieces, and my ink today is Crushed Curry, Sweet Sorbet. I love this new in color. Did you see we're also using the Tahitian Tide? If you haven't seen the new in colors yet, you're gonna love them. And soft suede. Got some scraps of basic white here. And what you want to do first is check the orientation of your punch before you stamp. We want to punch our bird, so we're going to stamp our bird face up with the paper strip nice and long and skinny, so we've got a handle for punching. It always makes sense when you've got a punch to check the orientation of the punch. I even keep it upside down right in my workspace so that I know that each thing that I stamp, if it needs to be punched, it's going to be easy to get it into the punch in the right orientation. So there's our little bird. Next thing we need is the wing. So I got another scrap here, and again, we're watching the orientation of the punch, and we're going to put that one in from the other side. So we want our wing and Sweet Sorbet also to kind of point off the right side of the paper there. And there's the wing. Now let's also do our little flower. I needed a bit of embellishment for this card, so I grabbed another brand new stamp set. This is the Cup of Tea stamp set, and you can bundle that one up with the teacup dies and save 10%. Another sneak peek from the 2022-2023 annual catalog. We're going to use this little flower for some embellishment. I'm going to stamp that one in Crushed Curry. We can die cut that one, so no need to worry about punching. Let's add some little features to our bird before we punch. Got crushed curry and the image fill in the beak, and then soft suede and some little eyes. Don't they just come to life as you start to fill in the features? And then last, I've got a little bit of crumb cake here, and we're going to stamp the nest with soft suede on crumb cake. I almost forgot the greeting. Let's do that. Let me show you. I've got my little scallop stitch rectangle. This is from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. We're gonna stamp a little note of thanks on that cutout and off to the right so we leave room for the flower. All right, let's clear away the ink pads. And now we can punch the bird and the wing. And it's going to be super simple because we planned ahead. And there's the bird and its wing. I need to fussy cut the nest, so I'm going to do that with just a little border of crumb cake. And you can see, just doing kind of a wiggle cut. Move the paper in and out of the scissors and leave a small border. And last is that little flower. Got my die from the Teacups dies. It's Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, let's get this little dude cut out. I love this little flower. It makes a perfect embellishment. Cute, right? All right, we have one more little bit to do. This is the new Parakeet Party cardstock, and we are going to cut a little bow. Our nest can't be just floating in space, so let's give it a branch. Love this bow punch. All right, let's assemble. I'm going to start with that bird. Let's get the wing on that bird before I lose it. And a mini Stampin' Dimensional for the back of the wing. And then we'll put the wing on the bird. Now it will not get lost and be wingless. I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of the nest and the bird. And I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the back of the bow. Now everything's ready with adhesive, and we can kind of audition all of our pieces and still give them a slide. I'm not burnishing anything down, I'm just kind of laying them in. Let's make sure I like where the greeting's going to go. All right, I think everything's pretty good, so we can adhere them down. And a little note of thanks is next. Liquid glue, pop that on the card. It's cute. You'll have to let me know which one you like better, the more solid or with the floral pattern. I think I like the flowers. All right, let's get a dimensional on the back of that little bloom. But before we glue that one down, let's get some linen thread. And we're going to tie a bow. I want a nice loopy bow, long curly tails, really whimsical. You can trim that away from the spool. I'm going to add a dot of glue behind the knot. And then put the bow on the corner of the greeting. This is your chance to give it a little finesse. Try and get the loops up, tails down. And then I'm going to add the flower over top of the knot. That's it. That's simple. Isn't that cute? Which one do you like, the flower pattern or the more solid? All right, you guys, if you've got any questions about the project, the new 2022-2023 annual catalog and the launch of that product, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.